And now, the Purple Room.
Welcome into the Purple Room podcast. I'm Patricia Caputo. He's David Bartholomew, and we are so excited you decided to hang with us here today. David, how are you?
It was a really good week, Patricia. We had Travis Scott on campus. Mm-hmm. We played some good ball. We caught a baseball win. We're going to talk about both of those later. And I mean, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be back on another episode where we could dissect them haters. You know, there's a lot of haters in the YouTube comments.
You're very right. And first off, we'll start with women's gymnastics. As they have won, they were ranked at number 2, and they finished first in the Fayetteville Regional. And Aaliyah Finnegan had a perfect 10 on the floor, which is the 7th of her career, David.
She's nice. Like, she's really, really nice. Like, even to go into that type of atmosphere, and she's not even folding under pressure. Getting that perfect 10, allowing the LSU girls to advance to semifinals. Let's see how they go.
I do, and I feel like this is the team that hasn't gotten the hate that women's basketball has, so it's kind of nice just being able to watch them and just have no hate.
Well, it's cool. I mean, they're definitely doing their thing. It's their year, and they haven't done it. I mean, you know, our team, our women's basketball team, they played a role. Like, not that they played a role. They don't deserve no hate. Like, not the hate that they get. Right. But they play up into it. There's no taunting in gymnastics. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not landing a move and then going to our team and like, yeah, I told you, that's me. Like, you do that in basketball. So I guess this is a different atmosphere.
No, yeah. Definitely, you're right. The team did set a program record for their regional on their floor score, so they are really moving mountains, and I feel like this might really be the year that they can finally get over that hump and possibly win. But again, I don't want to make any assumptions too soon, but it is something that it's looking more and more reasonable, and this is the year to do it with Hailey Bryant being a senior.
Hey, that's one of the teams we predicted to win the national championship before the season started, but I remember I said that I anticipated baseball to win the national championship, and it started looking a little grim last week and everything, losing them series, coming in, losing against Southern midweek. It looked rough. So Jay Johnson decided to, enough of that, and he bans all the cell phones from the locker room, takes it away and says maybe this will help him play. And to his credit, we finally won yesterday. We won the first game in the Vandy series, so what do you think? As
they should. When I study, I like to write all my notes. What's the point of using a computer to me? I just don't get it. I like to live like before technology. So whatever, I write my notes a lot, but also when I go to study, I study for 4 or 5 hours. I really like to study. And I disconnect myself from the world, from my phone, from my computer, because I know I'm going to get distracted, because I'm going to be like, well, TikTok, obviously there's people waiting for me. No, but like in my head there is. So I feel like this was the tactic that Jay Johnson used, which I feel works. It does. In my academic career, it has worked. So it worked on the baseball field, and it proved that this week.
I think it's a good thing he did. I'm happy that we're winning. If anything he does that helps us win, keep doing it. Take their phones, take their computers if you have to. Take anything you got to.
But you're not sold.
No.
That this worked.
I was going to say I was a little hesitant, like, it doesn't really matter. They got their phones for the rest of the day. But, I mean, you're setting the atmosphere. You're making the focus. When you get into this locker room, when you get onto this playing field, there's no technology. You're just with your brothers.
But it works. I mean, Derek Jeter used to do like something like that, too. In fact, he would make even his mom keep the phone outside of his house because he was so nervous somebody was going to come in and, like, accuse him that, oh, look what I found in his medicine cabinet and all that. And, look, he doesn't have a problem. No, I'm not saying he's a perfect person, but I'm saying there's no evidence on him, okay? But I feel like it's the same thing with this LSU baseball team, that there are absolutely no distractions. There's nothing that you can, oh, let me post this on Snapchat, let me post this. Like, no, just go out there. You got to hit a ball. You got to do what you have to do to win games.
Like, okay, now we know it was a rough patch. They finally got that win. Do you think it's just that the team is bad now or rebuilding? Because the national championship team lost a lot of players, like 13 players went on to the league. So what do you think it is?
I think you have to forget about the home run ball. Like, you're not going to do what you did last year. That you don't have Dylan Cruz. He's gone. You know, you don't have Trey Morgan. It used to be like, okay, hey, you can get a few guys on base, and then Dylan Cruz is going to come up and he's going to go hit a home run for you, and there you go. You got 3 runs right there. It's not like that anymore. I think it was last weekend in that third series against Arkansas that they hit a few home runs, and then guess what? They were up 4-0, but it was because they hit a few home runs. They got to go back to like the way baseball was originally played when the baseballs were really heavy and nobody could hit a home run. So it was just like you're literally just hitting singles out there. That's pretty much what they have to do. They have to focus, watch Moneyball or something, and focus on base percentage and not home runs.
So you think they just got to go completely old school? You talking about no phones? You told them to go back to playing prehistoric ball?
No, but I'm just saying, like, the reality is that this team is not going to hit a ton of home runs every single game like they did last year. That was what they could rely on. Now I feel like the guys who have stayed don't hit home runs the way Dylan Cruz did, and, sometimes Tommy White. Like, you only really have Mac Bingham every once in a while, Tommy White out there hitting a home run, but it's not consistent as it was last year, which I think that now there's this shift of like, well, someone will just save us like last year when you're down and, someone's just going to hit a home run. It's not like that anymore. You actually have to focus on getting on base. You have to focus on maybe stealing a few times. Again, like I said, working with that on-base percentage and winning games that way.
So you think they got to focus more on just playing the game right, not focusing too much on like who's gifted and all that talent? Yeah,
I just think you have to go back to like before Babe Ruth when, they weren't hitting home runs all the time because, again, that's not what this team is. And they just have to go back to like, let's get on base. Like, let's not hit it out of the park and try to play this breathtaking baseball that we just don't have. Let's just win by playing old school baseball the way Jay Johnson likes it. Again, you don't have Paul Skeens, so it's like, well, look, as good as everyone is, all that, but like it was like, okay, Paul Skeens is going to play, you're guaranteed to win.
Yeah.
Now you might not have that as much.
You know what this reminds me of, though, is 2019, LSU football went undefeated, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then you run through some of these names that they lost. You mentioned the Dylan Cruz, the Paul Skeens, Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson. Ty Floyd was a first-round pick. Grant Taylor was pushing to be the Friday night starter before he got hurt, like beating Paul Skeens in fall camp. There's your Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? Like, you're losing so much talent, and it's not to say that they don't have talent. They still have Tommy White. Holman's looked great. Herring looked great last night. There's still talent on this team, but you have transfers who are in a new situation. Yep. You have freshmen who have never played in college before. You have Paxton Kling, Ethan Fry, like guys who have experience, but they've never been relied on like this. Yep. And when LSU football goes 5-5 the year after a championship, nobody cares. It's like, they won a championship. Joe Burrow's gone. They're rebuilding. But then baseball starts off 20-10, and the world's burning down. I don't think the hate is fully deserved.
This baseball is back in Baton Rouge.
No, I agree with both of you. I think the hate isn't fully deserved. Like, we lost a lot of people, and I agree with you, Patricia. We should play to win. But I feel like this team, we're in a rebuilding phase. They're finding their identity. It's a completely different team, like you said. A lot of people left. We still got some veteran experience. I mean, Tanks is playing some lights-out defense. Like, we know what he can do on the offensive side of the ball, but he's really been showing that he can play that shortstop. Chavinsky's been a leader. We always hear that from everybody. Mac Bingham has been stepping up huge for the team. And I feel like they just need to focus. It's a lot of young players, like you said, and coming to LSU, you just came off a national championship high. Everybody's, like, all the girls is probably texting you. You probably getting
That's why they're taking away phones.
Free stuff everywhere you go. It's so hard to stay focused, and baseball is one of them sports where you need to be dialed in. Like that little separation from good to great is how focused you are. And it's hard in college. It's really hard, and they're all young coming to a super school. It's going to take some adjusting. I think the good first step was taking the phones, and they're starting to realize, like, hold on, like we got the talent on this team. I think no one's saying the team isn't talented. There's a lot of good players on the team. Now it's about playing a uniform brand of baseball.
We talk about rebuilds. Matt McMahon, the men's basketball coach, just brought in Victorious Miller, the third four-star recruit that he has brought in for this 2024 cycle. I don't know if maybe these guys are saying, hey, LSU sucks and we can play if we go there, or if Matt McMahon is actually doing a great job out on the recruiting trail. He's proved that he's a competitive recruiter at least. A lot of these guys have LSU in their top 10 schools, top 5 schools. And you're not going to get all of them, but I mean 3 4-stars for a program that is barely staying afloat in the SEC. Pretty incredible for Matt McMahon. Future is looking bright in my opinion.
Yeah, I like it. It's Masterpiece nephew.
Let's go. Keep recruiting, man.
I think this is exciting. He's like, if you have family and connections to Louisiana, why not come down here? We joked and said this would be a really good pitch for Bronny.
No. No.
Look, you can get playing time. You can get playing time. one LA to the other. You know what I mean? Like,
Bronny, city kid, I'm also city kid.
You're a city kid.
I can't talk, but
come on.
I'm not from LA. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from damn near a hood. I came to another hood. Bronny's from Beverly Hills. He's not coming to Baton Rouge. He has no business on Alaska Street on Highland Road. He doesn't want to be
fine.
There. Oh yeah, he'd have to travel with a detail everywhere Bronny goes.
Get him a private jet. He'll be fine.
Maybe.
All right. Well, look.
Hey, keep doing your thing, Matt. Keep getting recruits in here. Maybe one day someone like Bronny is going to be like, oh, I want to come to LSU.
Well, hey, look. Maybe someone who can encourage him is Angel Reese. All right. She has had an amazing time here at Baton Rouge, and she doesn't seem to be complaining about everything. She's made over $1 million in NIL deals with her time here in Baton Rouge.
Angel know how to get gritty. Angel's from Baltimore. She's from B-More. She knows that street ball, that street talk. Like, hey, guard me. Like, she knows.
Well, she's gonna take that talent to the WNBA as she announced that she is leaving and foregoing her final season at LSU to go to the WNBA. David, you seem a little upset about it.
I'm happy for Angel. Like, it's good that she's going to the league, and LSU is gonna miss her, of course. She's one of she's one of the pioneers of the women's basketball golden age, I'd say. And there's going to be some women's basketball savants that are going to get at me and be like, you don't know nothing. You don't know ball, boy. Like, I wasn't watching women's basketball that much before, like, this huge, like, break, like, what LSU did. Like, it's crazy how much eyes they put on the sport. Not just them, too. I mean, there's UConn, USC, Caitlin Clark, Juju Watkins, Aaliyah, I can't remember her last name, from South Carolina last year, and all the great South Carolina players. Women's basketball just seems greater, and it's good that she's going on to the league, get to go play pro, and even bring those eyes that she brings to college ball, bring it to WNBA.
I agree. I feel like she just changed women's basketball forever. Basketball, honestly, here at LSU forever. I mean, as great as, like, Pete Maravich was and Shaq was, I just think that there's now this precedent of, like, no, we're gonna. If you want to play for LSU, and I think Kim Mulkey has something to do with that, and Alexis Morris. But Angel was really there in the forefront, and this team is drastically different.
Barbie.
Exactly. If Angel doesn't ever come.
Even Shaq said she's the GOAT.
Yeah,
Shaq's coming out and
that's
saying
it.
it.
And no offense, Shaq never won a natty. Just saying, like, he never won a natty for LSU.
But it's just the fact that people were starting to be like, "Yo, we're going to the women's games. We're not." Men's basketball was an afterthought.
No one shows up.
People were like, man, we going to the women's game. What y'all talking about?
And everybody knows them. Seriously, my friends back home know who Angel Reese is. They know who Hailey Van Lith is. We'll get to her in a second. But they know them, that is not something I think we could say 10 years ago about a women's basketball game if you didn't go to LSU. Like, people 20 hours away know exactly who Angel Reese is, and they want to come see her play.
Keep doing your thing, Angel. Have fun in the league.
That's what Angel said. She said she wants to be a rookie again. I feel like it's just very fitting with Caitlin going. I think it will be very fun and exciting to see both of them go to the WNBA and see how they could possibly change that game.
And it's great that she said that she wants to be a rookie again. That just shows how much she loves basketball. Because at the end of the day, she could have stayed and got more NIL money. She could have stayed and got more followers, done more brand deals and stuff, but you're going to the league. You want to keep playing basketball against greater competition because she's a great college player, but just like any pro league, everybody was good in college to make it to the pros, so it's another period for her to readjust, grind, get her name up there, and then definitely after that, the haters ain't going to have nothing to say because she be catching strays all day. It's
so exhausting. I believe she said she was graduating with a degree, if I'm not mistaken. And I really, little like anecdote, Angel Reese used to be my Spanish partner right before she got really famous. Like right when the season started, when she transferred. And I remember actually talking to my mom and calling her on the phone and being like, Angel Reese, like, this girl's my Spanish partner. And she actually cares about doing her work, and she shows up to class and she does all this thing, which I've been in class with a lot of athletes, and a lot of them have lied to the teacher or the professor and just been like, I have to go here, or they just don't show up and this and that. And Angel is someone always I feel like I've thought of as like a Kobe Bryant, because seeing someone who just works so hard on the court and then off the court. So it is kind of cool, like, in my little head of being like, I knew Angel before she was famous, and like just seeing how she's been able to work both on and off the court, and all the hate she's received about the GPA jokes and all this and all that, which is just, I've always kind of laughed just knowing how at least what I saw before she got big, So I just wanted to add that in there because I think it is something that she can carry on, like the integrity.
Look at Trish with the kind words. Let's
clip
that, guys. Let's clip that. Let's get that to Angel.
But anyway, Angel is expected, right now she's projected to go number 7 to Minnesota. Now let's talk about the transfer portal, David. Hailey Van Lith has announced that she is entering the transfer portal after spending a season with LSU. Yeah. Do you think this is the right move for her?
Do what you want, Hailey. Do what you want. Do what you want. You was in Louisville. You was doing good in Louisville, but you seen LSU was building something. You seen LSU was different. You came to LSU. You gave us your word that she was gonna stay. You was a Tiger. You was fully committed. Kim was coming out saying that was like her long lost daughter. That was like, it's going to be different what we see in her.
Well, she averaged only 11 points. I think she might have made the right choice for herself, and knowing that she has to leave, it wasn't working.
But it's like, I'm pretty sure she knew that there was going to be a point dip when she came. Like, you're not going to play that same style of ball you was playing at Louisville. You're not going to be able to put up that much shots. You're going to be in a new position.
But there were games she wasn't starting. Like, there was games where last year Poe was coming in, and last year Poe was just simply better in this system.
I'm just like, I don't know. Hailey, you could have took another off season, another training camp. Came out here and proved everyone wrong. They said you trash after Caitlin Clark dropped 44. They said you trash.
Look,
we knew you wasn't though. We knew it was just an off day, and we knew. Look,
bad time. Sorry, bad time to have an off day.
It's true, bro. It was a bad time to have an off day. Maybe that kind of pushed her to be like, man, I'm out of here.
I think she made that decision way before.
Where do you think she's going?
I've heard like rumors about Iowa, which would be sick and crazy.
Oh, don't go to Iowa.
That would really be like disloyalty. South Carolina, I've also heard that's a little far-fetched, but that would be straight up disrespectful. So
if she went to South Carolina, oh my God! Whenever LSU and South Carolina would play again, if they played in PMAC, it'd be straight.
Yeah, these poor fans would be so mean to her.
Because that's disloyal. You see what they did to flau'jae. You see what they did to your sister. You can't just go over there and be buddy with South Carolina now.
There's no longer a fun competitive game. It is really hardcore at this point. But let's talk about flau'jae Johnson, like you had mentioned, David.
Big fun.
She signed an NIL deal with Athlete's Foot. She will be the brand ambassador. She's expected to be. There's a new Athlete's Foot that just opened up on Highland in Baton Rouge. She's expected to be at their grand opening. I mean, David, I thought Athlete's Foot, it looks like a pretty cool store.
Yeah.
And I think that it will be fun having somebody like flau'jae having an NIL deal with someone other than maybe like Cane's, another business that's right here in Baton Rouge.
I was so happy when the Athlete's Foot opened in general because it was like a little sneaker clothing store right there on Highland. You don't got to go all the way to the Mall of Louisiana. And I was like, oh, this is so nice. When I get my little $100 pay slip from Tiger TV every 2 weeks, I could go get some new slides or something. And flau'jae is getting a nice NIL deal. I spoke to the owner. It's just a cool establishment. I'm happy for her because she's truly going to be a leader of this team next year. She had a phenomenal season, stellar postseason, really put the team on her back sometimes, really came up big in the moments where you need a player like her to come up big. And this is definitely going to be her team if she keeps putting in the same amount of work, even more work. Because now you're the leader. You got to put in way more work. And she's balancing everything really good. Mm-hmm. She's doing the music videos with the rapping. She's doing the commercials, NIL deals, all while still being a phenomenal basketball player. So, like, we can only wish the best for flau'jae. That's big foe.
I think it will be very exciting to see what she does with this team next season. But you mentioned rapping. We know flau'jae Johnson's a rapper, but another rapper was in town this week. Travis Scott came into town. Now, you were there. You were up close and personal. So tell me about your experience.
Travis Scott, please come back. Travis Scott, fill up the PMAC or something. That'd
be crazy.
Look, I'm not even like the biggest Travis Scott fan. Like, I know a lot of his songs. I'm not like a super fan, but still, he was playing all the banging. It's like you already know the songs. They were just ingrained into your brain. So even if you thought you didn't know the lyrics, you just catch yourself doing the lyrics. You jumping up and down. You got people right next to you. You guys looking at each other, just jumping like, oh my God.
You even lost the hat, you said?
Yeah, I lost my hat. I probably lost 10 pounds too. I was sweating like crazy. Yeah, I had to go home. I had to take 2 showers.
So Travis Scott, it was kind of funny because it was a little random that Travis Scott.
It was a Wednesday out of nowhere. It was like 11 to 3, Travis Scott, bookstore and their friends.
So it was a random Wednesday that Travis Scott says, okay, I'm dropping my new college clothing line. Jack goes back to college. I'll be there. Jaden Daniels was there. Angel Reese was there. It seemed that everybody famous at LSU really popped out. Ryan Clark was even there. And
I love when I see Ryan Clark because he gets hype about LSU. Like, he's getting up there in age, but when he comes by, he's like, let's go. And I get so excited when I see other people getting hyped. Like, if I was there,
I feel like you guys could be really good friends. Like you and Ryan Clark could
RC, come on the pod, man.
I don't know. I saw it on Tiger TV's Instagram the next day because I'm not going to lie. I was sleeping. But the next day I got to live through all of y'all. And Ryan Clark was like, this is the best. I feel so alive. Like, usually I'm asleep right now, but I feel
something
good.
about just, I know exactly
and
what
like
he's
in the
about.
bookstore, he's pacing back and forth. He's like, I can't even relax.
Like, those are the days where I'm like, thank God I came to LSU. Like, some days, midweek, maybe like Tuesdays, I'm like, oh my God, why am I here? Like, I'm just trying to go back to New York. I just do something else. But then, Travis Scott's coming on a Wednesday.
Then Wednesday.
Tuesday, I was depressed. Wednesday, I was like, I love LSU.
So Travis Scott is the reason you're deciding to stay at LSU.
Yeah, no, Travis, thank you. I was about to leave.
Thank you, Travis, for helping David with his academic.
I know what I got to do now. I got to stay.
Yeah, there was a kid that came into my classroom. He had the book bag, the shirt, and literally jumped on a chair and was like, look at all my merch, guys.
Ooh,
the next morning, he was like
fly.
So hyped. I was kind of nervous. So I was like, this kid's never this hyped, and he's so excited about
Travis. You just giving everyone confidence. Oh my God, let's keep doing
I
this.
feel like you helped everybody get.
And you know who else was there though? President William Tate IV, and he had his Cactus Jack drip on too. And President Tate is everywhere. Like I see him at football games, I see him at baseball games, I see him at gymnastics. I remember this one story specifically. It was my freshman year. Which football game did we storm the field? Not we, but I'm just saying LSU.
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. LSU versus Ole Miss. And no, it was LSU versus Bama.
Yeah, we did it twice.
I seen a video of President Tate helping an old lady get over like the barricade so she could storm the field too. And I was like, this is the president we need at LSU. Like that is what LSU is about. We storming the field, Granny. Get down here.
Sorry. So President Tate has been able to be helpful. He also had just fierce fashion going on with his whole like Cactus Jack type clothes. He was very excited. I believe the line will also be at schools like USC, Southern, Grambling, Penn State, things of that nature.
They went to UT yesterday, and then they're at USC. I don't know if it was today or yesterday also.
Okay, so he's just going everywhere.
Jaden Daniels went to UT with them, but he wouldn't take pictures with anybody unless you threw up the L. So that's why he's my Heisman. Way to go, Jaden. Because I was a little suspicious at first. I was like, what are you doing in Texas? But he said, throw up the L. He really made dude fold and throw up the L to take the picture. So it's like,
loyalty.
Leave UT, bro. You was a fraud. Come to LSU.
Loyalty. Okay, anyway, moving on. We got No Sweat Bets presented by Southern Air for you, a segment that we do every single week. Just wanted to brag a little bit that Seton Hall won the NIT. So I don't know if you remember 2 weeks ago, I made a bet about Seton Hall beating North Florida. They went on to win the whole thing, all right? Shaheen Holloway, I'm really proud of him and those New York City, New Jersey guys.
Yep.
But, David, what do you have today for No Sweat Bets?
Okay, guys, I know I've been pitching poorly lately. If you were betting anything I gave y'all, I know you lost a lot of money. Trish, you've been making money, so.
I have been.
Don't worry, though.
Y'all made fun of me. Y'all made fun of me.
The thing about being a volume shooter is you're going to shoot a lot, but when you make them, it's when it counts. I'm going to give y'all 2 that's making, you're going to make a lot of money. UConn versus Iowa tonight at 8:30. UConn's taking it. No, I'm not voting for Iowa. Why would I want Iowa to win? They knocked out our Tigers. So, yes, this is 100% emotional, but Mama tells me listen to my gut. And my gut's never led me astray. And I'm telling you, UConn, Paige Beckers versus Caitlin Clark. Paige is tough, guys. Just be on the watch out. And I got NC State versus South Carolina. NC State's going to win. NC State's going to get the upset. Everybody's like, South Carolina is the greatest. They're undefeated. They're different this year. NC State crawled here, bro. They got their way here. You think they're going to just stop in front of South Carolina? You think second quarter they're down, first quarter they're down, they're just going to give up, turn around? No. NC State, please don't let me down. I gotta go 2 for 2 this week.
No, I got you. I actually get you with Paige too, because I mean, she could have had 2, or she did have 2 season-ending, possibly career-ending injuries while she's been in college.
She's a trooper.
She has overcome all of it. This team is a little young. They got Paige. They got a few seniors, but a lot of freshmen. I'm not sold on Iowa. I think this could happen. This could happen for UConn, and I think Paige was really like one of the women who really started changing the game years ago. And now to see like that she could win today, oh, that could be big. But I'm so confident. I'm just going to throw out one bet for y'all. Yeah. I got the Pels and the Spurs, all right?
Okay.
The Spurs are like 18 and 58. They've been going through it, right? Yeah, Zion had a little injury. He's day-to-day.
Exactly.
He'll be fine. There was no structural damage in his finger. The Pels are fighting right now, all right? They're trying to make a run right now. Right now, they're at minus 10.5. The Spurs are at plus 10.5. The Pels are going to win, okay? Let's just state the obvious here. Maybe this is a little safe, but yes, the Pels are going to beat the Spurs because I'm on a insanity run right now. It's not going to end, okay? Okay, I'm just saying.
Heat checking now.
I'm just saying, it's like Tom Brady. Everyone doubted him and everything. Troy Aikman lost his first season completely. Yeah. And guess what? He went on to win 3 Super Bowls. So call me Troy Aikman, all right? So I'm not trying to get cocky or anything.
No, that was cold.
But I'm just saying, okay? It could happen for me, all right? So I'm going all Pels for No Sweat Bets presented by Southern Air.
Wemby's about to drop like 50, 20, and 20 now because he heard that.
118 games. Relax. They'll be fine.
You heard that, Wemby?
They'll be fine. Hopefully Zion plays and it will all be fine. All right? I'm going in. I think the Pels. You know, you don't have loyalty. You told me I don't have loyalty.
Whoa, what you mean?
The Pels. Come on. I know you're a Nets fan, but now you're here.
I'm not loyal to New Orleans.
Okay. All right. Now no one's going to watch this podcast.
I'm loyal to Baton Rouge.
Now no one's going to watch it. So we need an NBA team in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, the Baton Rouge NBA team, and I'd 100% support them. I'd go.
All right, that's
I go to Zydeco.
So when Bronny comes to LSU, you'll support him and everything?
If Bronny came to LSU, I'd be his escort because I had to show him around. I got to show you where to go. I got to show you the Union. We got Chick-fil-A right there. We got good study spots. I got to show him Hodges Hall. Has he seen B12?
No.
Exactly.
That's like better than LA. You know what I mean? That's the equivalent. We're just going to take him on a little tour and then, Bronny will be sold. Come on the podcast. It'll be great. We'll just DM this to him every day. All right, that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for coming in and hanging with us today in the Purple Room. I'm Patricia Caputo. He's David Bartholomew. And this has been the Purple Room.
Goodbye. You think Bronny tried Canes before?
Is there a Canes in LA?
I don't know. Or small sliders.